Why is there a plastic bag in my chair? What the hell am I doing with my life?
To the players, reality is one against one, move and counter move, helmet to helmet. Nowhere is this conflict more evident than at the fringe of battle where the receiver and cornerback match glares. Here, cunning and speed determine the victor. One-on-one, the battle where the loser bleeds alone on an open field.
Welcome to Feldman Football. Your football narcissist, Corey Feldman here. And I'm here to do NFL predictions. Two people want to hear this. The only thing that matters is my takes anyways. We have a long NFL season ahead of us. And it starts Thursday when the Cowboys season officially ends. We had the Bucs and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. And it was good. Not really. The halftime show was awful. Who cares about the weekend? This video is short and sweet. My Super Bowl predictions, the Panthers and the Chargers. The same thing it is every year. Anyways, thanks for watching. Good luck. Just kidding. Anyways, leading off the NFC least, or, the NFC East. Well, I'm taking Washington to win the division again. But it's going to be putrid and close. These teams are awful. They'll battle each other. The games will be boring. It'll be terrible. Washington has Fitzpatrick at quarterback. They got Ron Rivera in the defense. Defense is only going to get better. People will figure out the name redacted team, Washington football team. And they'll get by and win another division with a minuscule 9-8 record. Dallas, well, you know what they're good for. A lot of hype, a lot of jersey sales, and a lot of Cowboys fans talking shit, and they can't back it up. 8-9. The Giants, still putrid, and this might be the last year they have it all together. Daniel Jones really doesn't have any weapons. That defense is up in the air. They're really just, it's not going to happen. The Eagles are borderline tank team. Don't really know what they're going to offer. They got Jalen Hurts. They got the Smith Freeman kid, whatever, from Alabama, the receiver. He's too small. Really no other options. I don't really see them getting it done on either side of the ball. They really don't have anybody else you can name. That line is not what it was. This team is a foregone conclusion. Absolutely, from that Super Bowl team 5 years ago. They're finishing last. Arguably, that record could be worse. There's some bad teams in the league this year. Moving on to the NFC North, you Packers fans are going to love this. The going away tour for Aaron Rodgers, Karen Frogers. It's going to be a tough one. And I'm not saying they're going to fall off, but if you look at their schedule, it's probably the hardest schedule in the league. Meanwhile, you got the Bears up and coming. The defense is back. They still made the playoffs last year, and I think they squeaked by with the division just because of the schedule. Dalton's not going to play the entire season. Hell, we could see Fields, against the Rams, but I think they're going to throw Dalton to the Wolves for a couple games, and we'll see Fields come in when it's a little bit more temperate. As for the Vikings, they're still a wild card, 8-9. Don't know who's going to show up. The Zimmer regime is closing to an end here. Kirk Cousins couldn't get it done. Dalvin Cook's still great for fantasy, and so is Justin Jefferson. Defense is up in the air. Then you get the Lions, who are probably tanking. They really don't have anybody. Jared Goff. Jared Goff played in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, but that wasn't because of him. They've got nobody on defense. They got Dan Campbell coaching the team, but it's going to be a couple years till the Lions get their stuff together. But you never know. These teams come out, all of a sudden nobody knows what they're doing, what they're playing against, and they go balls out and surprise everybody. Goff throws for 40 touchdowns, who knows, but highly unlikely. The NFC South, you see the return of Tampa Bay. They're returning every starter from last year. That's not a guarantee for a Super Bowl. We'll leave that for later. But they do get everybody back. And you'll see if they avoid injuries. I mean, yeah, they're the easy pencil in to repeat as champion. They've got Brady. They're completely loaded. The defense is great. And we'll just see what happens. Meanwhile, the Panthers at 9-8. Their schedule is a cakewalk for the first half of the season. They could go 7-1, but the back half is awful. As long as Bradford is not terrible, I mean, their opponents are nothing. The extra free game this year comes against the Texans. So finishing 9-8 is at the very minimal possible. The Saints, well, because of Hurricane Ida, will be playing most of their games early on, not at home. And they got famous Jameis, so I expect them to fall off of 7-10. I think Jameis will be good. He could be an MVP. They could go 15-2 just because of that system. But right now, with them having to play a lot of early games on the road, plus the schedule, and the rest of the team just actually falling off. Michael Thomas not happy. They let go Latavius Murray. Yeah, they got Kamara, but is he going to handle the entire load? 7-10. Falcons, well, we'll see how that choke artist happens. We'll see how that choke. We'll see if choking happens in week 1 against the Eagles. But they're at home. They still got Matt Ryan. They drafted Kyle Pitts. Julio's gone. They got Ridley. Defense is still awful. They have Mike Davis at running back. That window closed after that Super Bowl. It's just not happening. The NFC West shows the return to prominence of the San Francisco 49ers. Talk all the shit you want. They're returning basically everybody from 2 years ago. It's the same team. They drafted Trey Lance. You might not believe in Garoppolo, but he don't turn the ball over. It's part of Kyle Shanahan's system. They got like 3 running backs. They got Deebo Samuel. The defense is back. As long as they avoid injuries. Don't forget, last year, I think they won one game where literally all their starters were hurt. That's the only reason why they couldn't do nothing. And whenever you lose a Super Bowl, you fall off. We'll get to that in a minute, too. Anyways, I think they'll be back. Lance might be too early. I don't think Lance really sees the field that much this year, unless Garoppolo gets hurt. We'll find out. The Rams added Stafford. They're still good. They're still the Rams. They still got Aaron Donald. Defense is still top-notch. We'll see a hard-nosed battle Sunday night between the Rams and Bears. Those are always fun. Sea Chickens fall off 9-8. I just think the division's gotten too tougher. So we'll see what happens. Wilson's still got Metcalf. The defense is still teetering. He's got Carson at running back. It's basically the same team as it was last year, but it's getting boring. It's getting old, and Wilson's disgruntled. So we'll see what happens. See if we can get out of there at the end of the year. Just don't see the Sea Chickens doing squat this year. The Cardinals, getting to the end of the Cliff Kingsbury era. Try saying that fast. Anyways, Murray will put up good stats, good fantasy stats. Fitzgerald's gone. They added old man Captain America J.J. Watt. They're just a no. It's never going to happen. They're the Cardinals. It's the most boring football team of all time. And I think they're the oldest. Well, at least they're forgotten as the oldest. They're absolute. They've just done nothing. And Super Bowl against the Steelers in 2008. That was good. They should have won that game. Fuck Pittsburgh. Let's jump in on the NFC playoffs. As you can see here, got everybody filled up. These are the matchups I predict for the wild card round. The Niners will grab the top seed in the NFC this year. We got Panthers squeaking in at 9-8 just because everybody else, tiebreakers. I had a couple 9-8 teams. They'll play Tampa. They won't get past Tampa. Green Bay, Chicago. Rodgers is prone to choking in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. And then the Rams will play Washington and battle good defenses there. At least the football team gets in the playoffs 2 years in a row, so that's a positive. The divisional round, we'll see Washington football team, name redacted, going against the Niners, as they're the lowest seed. The Niners will promptly stomp them, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Fitzmagic will finally make the playoffs, though, and then he'll probably retire because he's been around for like 35 years. And then you get Green Bay at Tampa, a rematch of last year's NFC Championship, and the same thing will happen. The choke artist shows up, the fun runs over, Rodgers goes to Denver, or not. I don't think he'll ever leave. He just loves the attention, loves the drama. I can't stand Karen Rodgers. And then the NFC Championship, Bucks at Niners. I'll get to the Super Bowl matchup and leave it some suspense there for you. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. This is terrible. Now let's get to the AFC East. And damn right, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Hey, this is lame. Buffalo wins the division. Josh Allen for MVP this year. Should have won the MVP last year. He's the best quarterback in the league. I don't give a shit about Mahomes. I don't give a shit about Brady, Rodgers, and don't come at me with Ben Roethlisberger. Absolute garbage. The Dolphins will sneak in, and they're going to have an improved year. No leave-outs this time. No garbage. Tua does well. Defense is stout. They're a well-coached team. I like the shade of teal. It's a fun team. I love fun young teams. Jets 7-10. I think we'll get an improvement. Robert Saleh was the Niners defensive coordinator. He's now their coach. They're still young. The schedule really favors them because they had the second worst record in the league last year. I think Wilson blows it up. Has like a Herbert type year did last year, and the Jets will be good. They'll be competitive at least. 7-10, I think, is actually their max, but I think based on going up their schedule, I think it's something. And then we get the Chowder Pants. Patriots who cut Cam Newton, allegedly, possibly because of his coronavirus situation with the vaccine and stuff. Of course, Bill's not going to come out with that squad. It's Bill. Anyways, I don't see Mac Jones carrying the load for the season. Cam could have got the job done. Yeah, he's got more weapons. And yeah, some of the defense is back, but Gilmore's out for the first 7 games of the year. I just see them struggle in close games. I don't think it's going to get it done. I still think they're a year away from getting back into contention. Now, if they had started Cam, they probably would have finished higher. Matter of fact, I had to go back in and do this prediction stuff after Cam got cut. And you're lucky I didn't put you at 0-17. Fuck the Patriots. That AFC North isn't going to be so tight anymore. Browns are back. They're here to repeat, and they're here to push the bar even further. 12-3. Matter of fact, I'll say it now. They're going to beat the Chiefs this weekend. I kind of got to say it now because I'm planning on shooting another video. Oh, wait. They play next weekend. Shit. So I'll probably shoot another video before that. Anyways, Browns, 12-3. Completely loaded. I do think Beckham actually holds him back. If Beckham becomes an issue, expect his ass to be traded at the deadline. Either way, if they don't go 12-3, I'm just looking at their schedule. The rest of the division has mainly fallen off. They're making the playoffs, either way. Baltimore, they lost J.K. Robbins, who the running back is. They signed Le'Veon Bell to practice squad for whatever reason. I guess they expect to lose other running backs because they don't throw the ball. Lamar Jackson's still a great talent. His arm is just... I hate to go with the narrative on crap like that, but he's an MVP guy, but you can only take hits like he does for so long. All the running backs do that. Look at Cam. It's just the way it is. 9-8. They'll have a solid campaign. Defense is still the defense. Pittsburgh, 6-11. God, I love the fact that they went 11-0 and lost out, and they got completely... last year sucked so bad for everybody, but the fact that they got blown out in the playoffs on national television against the Browns. Oh my God. That almost makes up for the way everything's gone. Bungles will be 6-11. Yeah, that's an improvement. Hopefully Burrow can stay healthy, because if Burrow doesn't stay healthy, then they might end up with the first pick in the draft. They really blew it by not taking one of the left tackles this year in the draft. Instead, they took the LSU wide receiver. They took the wrong LSU wide receiver because Terrence Marshall went to the Panthers. He's shown to be a beast so far. Granted, training camp preseason, but he's got the tools. Chase Daniel, whatever his name is, I can't remember. Anyways, he's got the dropsies. He's already having off-the-field trouble. That's the Bungles, but I'd like to see Burrow do something. Hopefully they can finish higher than the Steelers, but I got them bottom dwellers with Pittsburgh, 6-11. I hate using the term interesting. It's so cliche. But the term fun really doesn't add up for this. But there's something about the AFC South this year, just because the Colts and the issue with Carson Wentz. But I'll start with the Titans. They're still strong. They got Julio. They got the running game. I mean, can they push it to the next level? I don't know. We'll find out. They got a tough schedule this year too. I see them going 11-6. The Colts, without Wentz, they're going to tank, but they're going to sneak in at the end and kind of win out because the schedule's favorable. And if Wentz can stay healthy, so be it. I'd be surprised to see them go after Cam. They're in a win it now. I mean, they're poised for the Super Bowl run. That's why they went and got Wentz. I mean, they're loaded. So if Wentz can't stay healthy, I don't see them pissing away another year. They'll go out and get somebody that will make them compete. If that's Cam Newton, that's Cam Newton. The rest of the division is trash. The Texans might not win a game. Trevor might not win a game. Unfortunately, they play in the first week of the season. And they play each other twice. I won't be surprised if one of those is on Thursday night. I haven't looked. But Jacksonville, God, that 2017 team is awesome. And they just blew it. Now that's owned by a wrestling owner, AEW. Anyways, the Jaguars already lost their other first-round pick, Travis Etienne, out of clamps. They don't have much else. They signed Marvin Jones from the Lions. It's a project year. If Trevor can get through all 16 games healthy and not turn the ball over, it'll be interesting. They'll probably win that first game against the Texans. The Texans. Starting Tyrod Taylor. It's brilliant. I mean, I posted on Twitter today under Feldman Football, at Feldman Football. Please follow me on Twitter. It's fun. You know, they still got David Johnson. They've got Brandon Cooks. They've got receivers. They've got weapons. But they're tanking. Watson wants out. And while I made a comment about Denver earlier, Denver might be picking second. So I could easily see Watson being shipped over. And then all of a sudden, the Texans have the top 2 picks in the draft. Now, are there any franchise quarterbacks coming out next year? People aren't really predicting that. I don't see it with Sam Spencer. We'll see. I mean, it is way too early. Somebody could emerge. That could just be another Wentz golf draft. Oh, that was awful, wasn't it? Anyways, the Texans will finish last. I got them winning 3 games. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's the NFL. They're going to get some they don't deserve. They're going to lose some. Because if you try to tank, you're not going to tank. You're not going to go winless. Teams that go winless try. 08 Lions, they weren't tanking. That wasn't even a thing back then. They tried. They were legitimately that bad. The Browns, maybe they were tanking in 2017, whatever year it was. But I legitimately thought they tried too. Now, last year with the Jets, they predictably tanked. And of course the Dolphins tried to tank 2 years ago, but they still got the quarterback they wanted. So they'll win a couple. Texans are terrible. Now we get to the AFC West. And yes, you can see Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they're still a good team. They're going to be a good team unless they get hurt. And Mahomes could get hurt. But right now, I see them falling off 11-6. The schedule's tougher. You got exposed in the Super Bowl. You lose the Super Bowl every single year. It doesn't matter how loaded you are. You fall off a cliff the next year. It doesn't. San Diego Superchargers. I like it in Los Angeles. Anyways, 10-7. I see them really making a leap with their new coach. Rams' old defensive coordinator. Herbert, I don't see a sophomore slump. He's got too many weapons. He's too smart. His arm's too good. Yeah, I put the Donkeys at 8-9. It's either way. I mentioned about the Texans. They can either be absolutely terrible. They've got weapons. Still see them looking at the schedule and how things go. The defense matches up and they don't get hurt. They're going 8-9. That's their ceiling. The basement, like 2-15. Now the Vegas Raiders, you start looking at issues with Gruden now. 7-10. They will probably look for another quarterback after this year. But if you drafted Darren Waller like I did in my fantasy draft, you'll be set up pretty good. Now we get to the AFC wild card. Browns come in to second seed. They host the Colts. Chiefs host the Chargers. The Titans host the Dolphins. The number 1 seed, of course, goes to the Buffalo Bills. As for what's going to happen in the wild card, Titans will beat the Dolphins. Browns will beat the Colts. Chiefs will beat the Chargers. The short-lived one. My dream of Panthers-Chargers Super Bowl is over, but both teams make the playoffs, and the Bills are the number 1 seed in the AFC. So this means divisional round: Titans at Bills, Chiefs at Browns. Bills will take care of business, and the Titans always manage to just shit the bed in the playoffs. They'll have a good team. They're always so damn inconsistent. I like to see them do better. And for some reason, the Bills don't make the playoffs. The Chargers don't make the playoffs. I know. I like a lot of their teams better than the Titans. I don't have a problem with the Titans. I think Derrick Henry deserves a ring. Tannehill's a great story, but they're going to lose. That's all there is to it. Browns will get their revenge against the Chiefs. Even though next Sunday doesn't really matter, they're still going to win that game too. But the Browns will get their revenge. The Browns will get their revenge against the Chiefs. Now we get the AFC Championship that everybody was waiting for. Browns at Bills. And this will be a doozy. I'm not going to have a repeat of last year's championship if the Bills don't show up. They're better. They're smarter. The Browns, loaded. Just more leadership. 10 years ago, it's like the Saints 10 years ago than 10 years before that. It's these underdogs for so long, these shitty franchises finally have it together. And they're basically playing in the real Super Bowl. Nobody's going to care about Bucks Niners. By the way, speaking of the Super Bowl, Niners at Bills. Well, no, it's not at Bills, but you know what I'm saying. Niners will actually host the Bills for whatever it is, wherever the damn Super Bowl is. Wherever the damn Super Bowl is this year. Miami or who cares. Anyways, you get the Chris Berman Bowl, and then it means after this game, Berman will probably croak, which sucks. I love Chris Berman. I don't know why people hate Chris Berman. It's a childhood endeavor. I wouldn't say he's a hero. I love Chris Berman. Stop shitting on Chris Berman. He makes noises. He looks like Fred Flintstone. He's awesome. Anyways, the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. Fortunately, I'm not giving it to the Bills. I think they're going to come up short, but I think the Niners are due diligence. That's not a fucking word. I can't talk. Anyways, Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. I think it'll be close. I would love for Josh Allen to get one. Maybe not this year. Maybe next year. I don't want to choose the Niners, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. They've got everybody basically back. Yeah, they lost their defensive coordinator to coach the Jets, but they have weapons. They've got a great system, and we'll just see what happens. Anyways, those are my predictions. If you don't like it, let me know. I'm sure everybody hates it. They're just going to talk shit. Steelers going to the Super Bowl. Cowboys. Fuck off. Anyways, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Feldman Football. And that's all.